The mission of Jesus was very clear. He had come primarily for sinners, because he was aware that it was the sick who needed the physician and not those who were well. Those who were well thought that they could manage on their own. And that is why Jesus was explicit in all his proclamations that he had come primarily to bring sinners back to life. In the gospel text of today, Jesus is sitting and eating with tax collectors and sinners. And those righteous people began to complain. See, this is a man who is a holy man, who professes to be a rabbi, who professes to be God's son, and how can he eat and drink with tax collectors and sinners? He ought to be in the temple, he ought to be with holy people, he ought to be discussing the books of law and the books of God. And Jesus is aware of their murmuring. And because they murmured, he tells them two parables. And the parables are known as the parables of the lost sheep first and the lost coin. In the first parable, there is a shepherd, and the shepherd has 100 sheep. One sheep goes astray. The shepherd leaves the 99 in the wilderness and goes after the one who has strayed. And when the shepherd finds the one strayed, he puts that sheep on his shoulder and he calls his friends and neighbors to rejoice with him because the sheep has been found. And Jesus ends the parable by saying, there is more joy in heaven over the repentance of one sinner than over 99 who have no need of repentance. In other words, in the ministry of Jesus, every individual was important. If a person opened his or her heart to God's love revealed in Jesus, that person could experience it. However, if one was self-righteous, if one thought that one did not need anything from anyone else and therefore self-sufficient, then one could not receive the love that he came to bring. In the second parable, there is a woman involved, and the woman has got 10 coins. The coins were not very valuable from the point of view of money, but valuable to her because it was a reminder of her commitment to her husband. And of these 10 coins, she loses one. And someone else would say, but why not wear your necklace with 9 coins? And she would say, no, she sweeps and sweeps and sweeps and turns the house upside down until she finds the coin. In other words, the one sheep which had strayed, the one coin which was lost, was important for the shepherd, was important for the woman. One individual who needs God's love is important for Jesus, and that is the message that he communicates. However, this message is only acceptable by those who open their hearts. The moment I become self-righteous, the moment I become self-sufficient, the moment I keep pointing fingers at others and realize they are worse than I am, my heart is not open to receiving God's grace. So the manner in which I can receive this salvation which Jesus has come to bring is by opening my mind and our heart and to realize that I am in need of God's grace, that I am a sinner. the more I realize that I am a sinner and cannot manage on my own to be righteous, to that extent, I will depend on God and open my heart to God. Do you believe that God is a God of unconditional forgiveness and love? Will you communicate such a God to everyone you meet?